Hello, loves. I am so over healers, lightworkers, intuitive guides, and all of the leaders of this new paradigm that we're building being stuck in survival mode or just good enough in their business. I really dream of this world where healers and intuitives have all of the money and through the money, the power and the energy they need to cultivate a lot of change here on planet Earth. And so I want to talk about the five biggest mistakes healers and intuitive guides are making when they're trying to build abundance through a business that is a service-based business. So this is going to be for you if you are a tarot reader, oracle card reader, psychic intuitive, if you are an energy worker, if you do hypnosis, if you do other forms of like energy work or guiding people, especially if you're focused on like single sessions of your modality right now. I'm going to dive into all of that. And if we haven't met before, I'm Casey. I am a intuitive guide and business coach for people who are here to work in the new paradigm of sharing your magic and anchoring your soul gifts and being abundant AF doing it. And I have been a full-time spiritual entrepreneur for over 11 years. My first business was all in person, all group work. It was called Dancing into Being, Movement Arts and Healing. And we did a lot of hula hooping and circus arts, as well as ecstatic dance and other healing things. And then I moved my business online full time in 2019, and I have been making six figures sustainably, but also part time since I moved my business online in, yeah, right actually at the beginning of COVID. So here is the skinny. There is a limit to how much you can do when you are running single sessions and when you have the wrong systems and structures in your business. There's also a lot to do with the beliefs and the energetic capacity of your nervous system. So there's like those abundance blocks with your mindset, old stuff that comes up like that. There can be some wounding that comes up, like the savior complex and the martyr that we can be running that is probably not even ours. It can be very ancestral or collective. We can also be undervaluing our intuitive work, and we can be lacking a coherent framework, systems, and structures that actually allow you to grow your business. So let's go through these one at a time. And I'm going to start with mistake number one. This is when you are stuck in the savior complex, and you might not consciously think it's that, but you're doing intuitive readings for people or energy healing for them, and you are trying to fix them instead of facilitate their own transformation and connect them with their own gifts and empower them. And no shade, we almost all start in this place where we're like, okay, I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to help you because you don't know how. And some people truly do require that level of help, especially if they are like just mired by the darkness. They don't know where to turn. And when you're working with people who are starving, let's say, you do need to just feed them, right? But that give a man a fish or teach him to fish motto comes into play with these sessions. Eventually, you feel like you're like, okay, I'm tired of just like giving these people fishes. I'm tired of keeping them from starving. I want to affect more systemic change and work with a more long-term solution and empower people to actually do the stuff themselves so they're not constantly needing to be saved. Right? So you got to go to the root then, and that's like teaching people to fish and becoming a facilitator or intuitive guide who is bringing people into their own power and teaching them how to do things for themselves instead of just doing it for them. That's the kind of natural evolution of a lot of readers and healers, is that you eventually get burnt out of just reading people and they might not take your advice, or just healing people and they wind up looping in things because they are not actually implementing all of the things that need to continue to like embody the change. And so they just loop back again and it doesn't work. Let's be real. Your journey did not actually happen with a single session from any one teacher. You had to go through a evolutionary process, right? Of shifting things, clearing things out, tapping into a new frequency, and then becoming that version of you who could hold it. So I love guiding people into the how of that. I think that all energy healers and intuitives should actually get coaching and facilitation skills under your belt so you can safely and effectively help people integrate all of the magic that you're giving them, all of the medicine that you're giving them. So you're not just patching people up or telling them what to do, you're guiding them through the process. And it's so much more meaningful when we evolve into that. Because people are going to get better results. And here's the cool thing, you're actually going to get a kind of client that's ready. They're going to do the work. If you are offering this facilitation and integration in a bigger scale rather than just an energy reading or a healing, you're working with people who are automatically like prepped and primed and ready, and they want you to guide them. And you can charge more money because you are focused on the transformation you're facilitating as opposed to just spending like the time for your time, the money for your time. So this is one of the ways you can, and we'll talk about this more in mistake number 5, is like going into the cohesive framework. So this will kind of go through in a couple of the different mistakes actually. But when you move into the role of teacher, facilitator, coach, or guide, and you're mentoring people and you're helping them, it really expands, yeah, your clientele, the messaging, the marketing, how much you can charge, and you get more satisfaction out of the work quite frequently. I don't even like just giving people energy readings unless I know them and I know they've got the tools to integrate, even though I'm a fabulous psychic and I can give people the best freaking energy readings. It's very rare I pull those out because I want to make sure I'm giving people the tools to actually get where they want to go, you know? So mistake number 2 is trying to do all of this and build your business and serve people and help people and make more money based on single sessions. This is again where all of us start. So there's no shade. You know, you get a modality. You do Reiki with people and they book a session with you. You do an energy reading for people or a card reading, a tarot reading, and they book with you. And maybe they'll book again, maybe they won't. But if you are actually wanting to facilitate transformation, you need to be able to take them on a journey from point A to point B. And real lasting transformation and change takes time. Yes, you can have breakthroughs in a single session. You are magical AF. So why? I can charge somebody, $10,000 for a whole package to work with me over 6 months, and in one session they'll be, oh my gosh, I got my money's worth. I have had people say that to me. But we didn't stop there. I was like, okay, yes, amazing. So glad for you, but let's go deeper. And that journey of integration, implementing things, make sure the breakthroughs actually stick and they actually land. So the depth that you can go to is going to just shift when you open that up and you move from the single sessions to taking people on these evolutionary journeys where you can work with the blocks, you can work with the mindset, you can bring in the nervous system regulation, you can work with the identity shifts and help people practice. And when they fail or they make a mistake or they bump up against another block, you're there to walk them through it. So that's where the real impact comes. And also, that's where the real income comes in as well. If you are just always doing single sessions, you're constantly needing to replenish your client roster. You need to reach way more people, and your schedule is super full if you are wanting to make high cash months. And then you have this like inability to take time off, and you can't really scale once you get to be sold out without increasing your prices. And for single sessions, there's kind of a limit to how much people will charge. But when you actually have the transformation framework that you can actually give people and take people from point A to point B, you can ethically charge more money as long as you know how to do this in integrity, right? Like you actually have the skill set. You can also, like, I'm talking about like working with someone over time in a one-on-one capacity, but you can also divest from the trading your time for money with a single person scenario and scale one to many. So that could be workshops, retreats, longer classes, masterminds, things where you are able to work with a group of people, and it's still only say 1 hour of your time, but maybe you could serve 5 people in that hour, 10 people in that hour, 30 people in that hour, 1,000 people in that hour. And what if you could take those people on a journey through time, and it's not just a 1 hour, one session, one off workshop? Maybe it's a series where you are guiding a group through from point A, where they are, to point B, where you know you can take them ethically and reliably. So all of this presumes that you have the competence, and we can talk about how you gain that in a few minutes. But mistake number three for people who are wanting to make more money and hold more money in their business is about ignoring the nervous system and the embodiment, both for your clients and yourself. When you're doing a single session, especially, and you're focused on that, it is a lot of like dopamine hits, a lot of education, a lot of breakthroughs, but there isn't any integration time. There isn't the digestion time. That can really lead to burnout for you because you're just doing a lot of like energy work and fixing and healing and reading and stuff like that. And it's short-term results for your clients because they reinstall the old patterns because they're not building their nervous system's capacity and building the new neural pathway framework in their brain to create the new identity that can live like that. So I love energy work. I teach it. I do it every freaking day, but without the extra pieces that are so often missing for taking care of the body, taking care of the nervous system, doing the belief repatterning, doing those identity shifts, taking the aligned action steps to be that person, it doesn't stick. It actually, I have seen it cause damage to people. People who just get too much into the energy work and they leave the rest behind, they wind up frying their system. So it is, I think, more ethical as an energy worker or intuitive who is doing all of these upgrades for people, activations, energy readings, helping them with the breakthrough is like walking them through what's next, walking them through how to hold it. I think that's so important. So that brings us to number four is in terms of the abundance in your business, you might actually be undervaluing your intuitive work and what you're capable of charging somewhat because other people are undervaluing it because they're thinking about an hour of your time is not worth that much in comparison to an hour of their time. But it could also be some beliefs that you have about the value of the work, especially if you're working in single sessions, because you can't promise lifetime transformation, life-changing results in a single session typically. If you do, it will feel a little bit disingenuous and you might not be able to hold it because, again, a single session might not even get to the root of the problem. We all know a lot of times things are very multi-layered and it might take several sessions to get to the root and then a few more to really help them integrate. Again, I know you're magical. I know your modalities work really well. And also, problems that people have are often so multifaceted because we are healing and clearing like 9,000 years of ancestral and Akashic stuff, galactic stuff, collective stuff. Everything is up. So like these things can take a while to get to the root of and clean and clear and put in something new. So when we actually have the whole transformational journey that we're guiding someone through instead of a single session, we can value at a much higher price point, very ethically and in integrity, what it is that we are charging. And that's because we know the cost, the opportunity cost if they don't actually do this thing, if they don't heal this, if they don't solve this, they're going to be exactly where they are right now later, right down the road. And that's going to miss out on all of these opportunities for them, whether that's financial, whether that's health wise, whether that's in relationships. Those are the big three categories that people will pay money to have their problems solved in, by the way. So if you are a spiritual entrepreneur, an energy healer, a reader, it's very, very helpful if you can tie in one of the things, the outcomes to health, wealth, or relationships. Okay, because that is again what people spend money on. And this is not just me making that up and saying like, oh, spiritual work isn't worth anything. Like it is. It is just for its own sake. And also, if you want to make a thriving business where you are making more money, if you hit one of these categories, it is going to be so much better for you because people, like I said, will say, oh my gosh, I want to improve the quality of my life when it comes to my health, when it comes to my relationships, or when it comes to my finances. So, again, having structures, templates, systems, and the knowledge and know how of how to take people with that, not just to give them an energy reading, but say, okay, here's what the cards are saying, or here's what the energy work needs to be. And then here's how we use that to get you from point A, where you are, to point B, where you want to go, how I can take you on the transformational journey. So, number five, mistake number five basically is what I've been alluding to. You need a cohesive framework to take people through that point A to point B, a repeatable system that you are confident in, that you can get your clients results no matter what, not no matter what, like no matter what, if they're the right client for you and they show up to do the work. So this is part of our messaging, part of our marketing, nailing in who is going to get the most out of our work. I have systems and templates and things that can help almost anyone with anything. Like truly, I have studied belief repatterning. I have studied this intuitive development, business and marketing. I have skills. I can teach people how to hula hoop. I can teach people, how to do public speaking. I can do a whole lot. But the kind of person who's going to get the most out of working with me happens to be a person who is maybe not a beginner at any of those things. They're probably an intermediate person who is at the mastery on the mastery path, at the level where they're willing to invest in their success and they're willing to see where they're at, honestly, and where they want to go. They are ready to drop all of the old stuff and really show up with this conviction and determination so that they can build the business that they are here to build, and they're magical AF. I don't have to convince them that they're magical. Those people are the people that are going to get the most out of working with me. If I advertise to veterans from the Vietnam War who I could help with stuff, they're not the people that I am here to serve based on my life experience and skill set, even though I could definitely help them. So they would not get as much out of it. So I couldn't speak as confidently and passionately about my marketing. I cannot, in good conscience, say that I can take them from point A to point B because I don't have that level of knowledge or experience with them. So I don't know. If I'm working with somebody who is a former version of me in some capacity, plus I have proven frameworks, system structures, templates, skills in my toolkit that can help people do all of the pieces from the activations to the clearing to the belief repatterning to the nervous system rewiring to the identity shifting and the practical action pieces, and having accountability for that and being able to see the whole picture as well as the individual parts. Those things I know how to do for my people who are in some way on the same path that I was. Because I've been there, I have codes for them. I am the living success story. So I can share with them what it looks like to be on the other side, right? I can't do that for veterans from the Vietnam War. Maybe you can. Um, that is why we really get to hone in with structures and systems and bring the tangible strategy and systems even into our method and marketing, as well as to our offerings, creating these transformational journeys. All of it is so important and it sounds like a lot, but I mean, that's just five things. So I honestly think that when you work with magic, we can bring in the ceremony, we can bring in the magic, we can bring in the somatics, but then also bring in these structures, these frameworks, and bring it all together in this beautiful, cohesive field that can support your success and your abundance in your business. Like it just allows you to have everything that you need to grow and make more money sustainably. So, this is exactly what I do in my world. I am sharing the secrets to creating more abundance in your service based spiritual business with my From Single Sessions to Sacred Journeys Masterclass. We are going to be pulling back the curtain on how I have been able to sustainably scale to six figures and beyond working part time. I'm going to share with you the systems, the structures, the strategies that I have used that, again, work one-to-many workshops, retreats, group classes, group coaching, masterminds, and also one-to-one in a more transformational, evolutionary way where we hold the sacred journey from point A to point B and not just do a single session. This is what brings recurring revenue. This is what allows you to divest your time exchanging for money kind of paradigm where there's actually no limit to how much you can create. This is how you can scale to like multiple six figures, seven figures, eight figures. If you don't know how to do this, if you don't know how to take your clients on that journey and you're just giving them a reading, a session here and there, and your um, offerings look like a whole smattering of like you could do buy this hour or you could buy this 50-minute reading or this 30-minute reading or this 50-minute energy clearing, then you're not going to create the abundance, the recurring revenue, the stable, sustainable income streams that are necessary to get to that next level of abundance and impact. This stuff doesn't just make you money. You are making money because you are being in divine service, and that is rewarded. The energy or money comes from source through these people that you're helping. So the more people you can help and the better you can help them, the more money you can make. And that's so freaking magical. And I would like to help you. So please check out the links to either the Sacred Single Sessions to Sacred Journeys Masterclass, my Transformational Journey Facilitator certification, or any of my certifications where I bring these skill set in, or if you're looking for more on the mindset and the energetics of abundance specifically, the Abundant AF Lightworker membership. So many free resources and tools for you there as well. Just let me reiterate the vision that I am holding for you and for the world. And you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but like I know I want to see abundant as fuck healers, intuitives, and heart-centered leaders so that they can do the things that they are here to do with the world, light it up, heal, inspire, share, create, grow with all of the resources they need to spread it across the globe. Okay. The broke healer paradigm, the broke spiritual leader or creative visionary, that's got to die now, last year, a century ago. But putting money in your hands is going to be a net positive for the world. And I would love to help you. So let me know in the comments if you have questions or how this landed. Sending you so much love on the journey of creating more abundance and building your business in a way that is going to be sustainable, because sustainability is sexy. We don't need the roller coaster income swings, even though it happens to the best of us. Let's make sure we have the roadmap that you can follow so you don't have to figure it all out on your own. And I'll talk to you soon. So much love.